Preview.
Top 21 cute kittens in anime, which one is your favorite? Anime as a whole is definitely a cat person. Sure, you see a dog pop up here and there, but cats just dominate the medium, from talking cats to cat ears, and adding neon to everything they say. There's an abundance of these furry creatures. So today I want to honor these felines and share the absolute best cats in all of anime. No humans sing neon this time around, but there will be plenty of humans, like cats and spawns of Satan. Korean anime, Dragon Ball. Do you remember when Korean was like in the show, before all the planet and universe destruction started becoming a typical Tuesday? Korean was viewed as a martial arts master. He is an immortal cat that lives in a giant tower where he would train the one and only Goku. He also gives Goku Gang Senzu beans, so that legendary moment of the worst parenting skills ever displayed in the battle against Cell might not have happened hadn't it been for this fuzzy old cat. Kaya anime ghost stories. Everyone has had that relatable moment when you're just minding your own business, trying to rid the world of an evil spirit, when you accidentally do a reverse exorcism and now your cat is possessed. You know what I mean? Same here. And because of this mundane activity, the formerly ordinary cat becomes one of the funniest characters on the show. He is so snappy and grumpy, it's just a ride, especially in the English dub, where Kaya has a sort of potty mouth that will get him cancelled 10 times over in this climate. Thankfully, it came out in the early 2000s, so Kaya's temper remained intact. Baron anime, the cat returns. Now this is one snazzy cat. Baron Humbert von Geekingen first appeared in the 1995 movie Whisper of the Heart and will return 3 years later as a more important character in The Cat Returns. With his slick white suit and top hat, he definitely leans more towards human than cat. I'm pretty sure this is how furries came to be, and can you blame them? Just listen to that silky voice. Ah, what an absolute gentleman. He also becomes a statue during the day, but that doesn't stop him from owning the cat bureau. I strive to be Baron without the fur and the stone. Nekobasu anime, my neighbor Totoro. His name is Cat Bus. What is he? Half cat, half bus. Ghibli really didn't beat around the bush with this one. Nekobasu is just so fluffy I want to die. Appearing in a pinch to help out the girls, and Totoro, Nekobasu is a very helpful presence in that universe. He also has that wide, scary, amusing Cheshire cat smile. Even on his own, I feel he must be on this list simply because of how well known and loved this character is in the anime world. But then we get to the cherry on top of the cake. Say it with me, Kitten Bus. In case you haven't heard, Ghibli made a short 13-minute special in 2003 that follows Kitten Bus. Yes, it's as adorable as it sounds. Karara anime Inuyasha. Nothing has been this demonic and yet this appealing since like Paradise Lost. Shout out to the few people that got that. Karara is one dangerous Nekomata switching from her tiny adorable form into the bringer of death when needed. I'm very glad that Karara is actually useful too, unlike some like Kiba's Akamaru, but also isn't completely overpowered like some later entries. She still fights in tandem with her owner Buddy. She also makes for a wonderful travel companion, and whatever she actually meows, an angel gains like 7 wings. Blair anime Soul Eater. Oh, who lives in a pumpkin and is a kitty. Blair the song had to die. Blair is an interesting case. She is a monster cat, meaning that is her true form, and yet she often resorts to her human form, and her human form resorts to nudity, but no complaints here. She is also a very powerful monster cat, leading many to even mistake her for a witch. Let's just hope she never gets on a project, and considering the power of her pumpkin theme spells, can you really blame them? She had blown away many a foe, and if what wasn't enough, you have to kill her 9 whole times before she dies. Arthur, anime, Code Geass. I like Arthur because he's a normal cat, no talking, no demons, nothing, and yet he still had some influence on the plot. In particular, that one time he stole Zero's mask and started running around the school, commencing the most high-stakes game of Catch the Cat ever. Aside from these 15 minutes of fame, Arthur usually chills in the background, doing his own thing. He also really likes biting Suzaku, but hey, who wouldn't give him a nibble? Karupin, anime, Prince of Tennis. I object to how cute this cat is. It's settling unrealistic standards for other cats. I mean, just look at the fluffy little thing. Karupin's and Ryoman's love for each other is so precious. Karupin also really likes his toys. He will in fact follow you to school, roam around the hallways, maybe climb a tree if you happen to take his toys with you. He constantly sleeps with Ryoma like a little cuddle buddy. Kuro Nico, anime, Trigun. We all heard of the fly on the wall, but now it's time for the cat and the everything. My awful meme analogy is supposed to get the point across that in the world of Trigun, Kuru Nico is seemingly everywhere. This feline makes an appearance in nearly every episode in the flesh or in the form of a picture or stamp. Kuro Nico always seems cheerful, usually smiling and meowing when he is discovered in some random trash bin or bag. The cast usually doesn't react in any way when the cat pops up, except at one time when it stopped Wolfwood from cheating in chess. Smart kitty. Luna, Artemis, and Diana, anime, Sailor Moon. It feels wrong breaking these cats up into 3 entries, and a mother can't choose her favorite child, so we'll just combine the 3. Luna and Artemis serve as guiding lights to the protagonists throughout the series, especially early on. Diana comes in a bit later as a child of the 2 other cats, but the twist is she came from the future. All 3 are very iconic characters, so of course they had to be included in this list. Neko Ogami-sama, anime, Penny Pony Dash. I don't even know where to start with this character, so Neko Ogami-sama, or Lord Cat or God Cat, is a cat who is a god. What does he do? With his divine powers, he stays inside of vending machines to make sure the drinks are always body temperature. Why he does this? Who knows? He is also very diligent at this job, so if he has to step out, he will find a replacement. He also has superpowers and changes the color of his fur every episode. What in the name of all that is holy does this represent? No clue, but it's funny. I subscribe to the Church of Neko Ogami-sama. Maya, anime, Azumanga Daioh. Imagine being that hated by cats that you get bitten every time you try to pet one. That's the life of Sasaki. The cat named Kamineko seems to especially enjoy unhinging his jaw to bite her hand. But then, during the trip to Okinawa, which every slice of life anime has for some reason, Sasaki finally finds the cat of her dreams, Maya. In fact, not only did it just allow Sasaki to pet him, but even followed Sasaki all the way to her home. Now that is commitment. Nico Sensei, anime, Princess Tutu. You know that feeling when you're 30 and your family just won't get off your back when it comes to marriage? Well, Nico Sensei is that feeling personified. With the added twist of being a cat and a teacher, the man knows his priorities, using every opportunity he gets to make someone marry him. And not like proposing all the time, no, more like, oh, I see you haven't done your homework, yar, as punishment you will have to marry me. Ironically, he runs away when another teacher wants to marry him. Unironically, he gets married in the very end to a female cat. Shamason, anime, the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. I think of Shamason as a parallel universe, Schrodinger's cat, which works out nicely because you know he is a cat. I say this because at first Shamason is just a normal stray cat. But one day Haruhi decides to pick him up so that he could play a part in her game as a familiar. But when Haruhi starts confusing the real world and the fantasy world, Shamason is given the ability to talk. He talks in a deep voice and usually speaks about morality or something else philosophical. And regarding the initial statement, And the disappearance of Haruhi, Suzumiya, Shamason is used to check whether Koi still has a connection to the real world, basically relying on the fact that Shamason will be able to speak if that were the case, so he has a purpose in the plot too, not just an awesome cat. Happy anime fairy tale, this blue flying furball is the face of the fairy tale guild and the anime in general, a mascot if you will. He is honestly used for comic relief throughout the show, so he was built as very wacky and lovable, having spent his entire life with the hot-headed and hot everything Natsu. A bit of his temper and camaraderie definitely rubbed off on Lil Happy. His signature icer never fails to nab a cheeky little smile, and when he's worried or sad, we collectively whip up some tissues because a waterfall is incoming. We also can't forget his feline female friend, F. Carl either. Puck, anime, ReZero. It is scientifically proven that a cuter a character is when they're happy, the more horrifying they are when they're mad. Okay, I haven't run the tests yet, but I'm sure you know what I mean. At first glance, Puck is a happy-go-lucky artificial spirit that protects our not-best girl Amelia and jokes around with Beatrice and Subaru from time to time, and it is just adorable. But oh boy, when Puck gets mad, run for the hills. Even in his base form, Puck is an absolute powerhouse, being the manifestation of the Ice Age on a budget. But then there's his other form. Not going to spoil it, but let's just say he goes from buddy to mister really quickly. Kuro anime, no exorcist, blue exorcist. See, I told you Satan's spawn will show up eventually, and I don't mean by character, as Kuro is a soft in that regard, but he is a demon, originally being a protective deity. To the humans, Kuro had it pretty good until humans started to neglect him and even tore down his shrine. Just like most cat characters, for some reason he had a fighting form and went on a rampage. Luckily, Shiro calmed him down with the power of soft words and hard liquor. Well, it was wine, but you get the point. Rin will later be passed the torch of headbutting Kuro with love and once again spreading the love of wine with his new familiar. Chomasuba anime Chomasuba. Chomasuba is the silent but cute factor of Chomasuba. She is Megumi's familiar, hence the very memorable name, and usually follows the gang around as they do God knows what. She seems especially close to Kazuma, as she spends a lot of time resting on his head. She also really enjoys playing with Wiz for some reason. Well, two big reasons. She definitely does not have powers, just a normal cat. Ignore the whole using fire from time to time thing. Just a normal cat, you got it? Ampu anime Seiki Kusuo no Sainen Sai Shiruhen. The disastrous love of Seiki Kei. Reawakened, Ampu is how dog people imagine cats to be like. He is a whiny little cat that thinks humanity is blessed by his mere presence. Though Seiki, who can read his mind, we see him constantly trying to manipulate those around him to his own benefit. He's used to unfiltered adoration, which is why Seiki's utter indifference drives the cat mad as he keeps trying to get his approval. Well, he did succeed once by protecting him from a cockroach, although it was far from the victory Ampu imagined. There was also that whole ordeal when Seiki was his wingman, but that was just odd to say the least. Meowth, anime Pokemon, probably the most well-known anime cat ever, even by non-anime fans. Being part of the Dastardly Trio and one of the biggest kids shows ever to hit television can sure put your name out there. What's most fascinating about Meowth is that in a lot of ways he's the most human among Team Rocket. He has shown doubts regarding what he's doing with his life, as well as obviously regretting the fact that he and Pikachu can just be friends. He is also the brains of the operation, and he builds all of the machines, makes all of the plans, and is the best at making Ash and his gang play his little games. If it wasn't for plot armor, one might question whether he would continue to blast off again. Madara anime Natsume's Book of Friends. In my opinion, some of the best friendships in anime are those that begin as a simple alignment of interest. At first, Madara is just another yokai that wants to get his grabby little hands on Natsume's Book of Friends for the power that it yields. So the two arrange a deal. If Natsume died, Madara would inherit the book, but will serve as Natsume's bodyguard in the meantime. The relationship between the pudgy little yokai and the kind-hearted Natsume would only grow from there, eventually leaving the original contract in the past. Madara is a prideful little bastard that is extremely possessive of Natsume, always being ready to put his life on the line in order to protect him. A lovely kitty, if I may say so.